What if I told you that the iconic cherry blossoms of Mount Fuji aren't just beautiful? They're following a secret survival strategy written in volcanic soil and mountain winds. Picture this. You're standing at the base of Mount Fuji in early April. The snow-capped peak rises against a clear blue sky, and at its feet, thousands of cherry trees burst into soft pink clouds. It's one of the most photographed scenes in the world. But what you're seeing isn't just a pretty picture. It's the result of a hidden battle for survival that plays out every spring. A battle where timing is everything. And the mountain itself holds the key most people see cherry blossoms and think of fleeting beauty. But at Mount Fuji, they represent something deeper. A perfect alignment of geology, climate, and biology that happens nowhere else on Earth. Let's start with the obvious question. Why here? Why does this specific mountain produce such legendary blossoms? The answer begins deep underground, in the volcanic soil that makes this landscape so unique. Mount Fuji isn't just any mountain, it's an active volcano, and its soil is rich with minerals that most plants would find toxic. But cherry trees, they thrive on it. The same volcanic ash that makes the soil difficult for other plants provides perfect drainage and just the right mix of nutrients for cherry roots to spread wide and deep. But soil alone doesn't explain the magic. The real secret lies in the mountain's microclimate. Mount Fuji creates its own weather patterns. Cold air rolling down from the summit meets warmer air rising from the lakes below, creating a thermal belt that wraps around the mountain's middle slopes. This belt acts like a natural thermostat, keeping temperatures just stable enough to protect budding flowers from late frosts. While cherry trees in nearby cities might get hit by a sudden cold snap, Fuji's blossoms remain safe, cradled in this invisible atmospheric blanket. Now, let's talk about timing. Cherry blossoms across Japan follow what's called the cherry blossom front, a wave of blooming that moves northward as temperatures rise. But Mount Fuji does something strange. The blossoms here don't follow the northward march. Instead, they bloom in elevation zones, starting at the base and moving upward toward the summit over several weeks. This creates what locals call the vertical bloom, a slow-motion explosion of pink that climbs the mountain like a rising tide. Why does this matter? Because it's not an accident, it's evolution at work. By staggering their bloom times, the trees ensure that if a late frost wipes out the lower blossoms, the higher ones might survive. If disease strikes one elevation, others remain protected. It's a survival strategy written across the mountainside, a natural backup system that has allowed these trees to thrive for centuries. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The trees themselves have adapted in ways scientists are still discovering. The most common cherry around Mount Fuji isn't the famous Sumi Yoshino variety you see in Tokyo. It's the Yamazakura, or mountain cherry, a wild species with smaller, tougher flowers specifically evolved to handle Fuji's harsh conditions. These trees have thicker petals that resist wind damage, deeper roots to anchor against storms, and a later bloom time that avoids the mountain's unpredictable spring weather. And then there's the wind. Mount Fuji is famous for its strong, consistent winds, the same winds that give the mountain its perfect conical shape by evenly distributing volcanic ash during eruptions. Those winds play a crucial role in pollination. While most cherry trees rely on insects, Fuji's cherries have adapted to use the wind as their primary pollinator. The The trees grow at angles that catch the prevailing winds, shaking pollen from branch to branch in a silent, invisible dance that has been going on for generations. But perhaps the most beautiful adaptation is how these trees communicate. When one tree begins to bloom, it releases chemical signals that trigger nearby trees to follow suit. This creates the spectacular synchronized displays that draw visitors from around the world. What looks like random beauty is actually sophisticated biological coordination, a conversation between trees ensuring they bloom together for maximum pollination success. Of course, none of this would matter without the mountain's most famous feature. Snow, the slow melt of Fuji's winter snowpack, provides a steady water supply during the critical blooming period. While other regions might experience drought stress, Fuji's cherries get a perfect, gradual watering from the melting snow. Nature's own irrigation system timed exactly when the trees need it most. What emerges from all these factors is a masterpiece of natural engineering. The volcanic soil, the thermal belt, the staggered blooming, the wind pollination. Every element works together to create conditions found nowhere else. That's why photographs of Fuji's cherry blossoms feel different. You're not just seeing flowers against a mountain. You're witnessing millions of years of adaptation frozen in a single, breathtaking moment. But this delicate balance is facing new challenges. Climate change is altering bloom times. Warmer temperatures are causing some trees to bloom earlier, disrupting their synchronization with the mountain's natural rhythms. Conservationists are now working to protect these ancient trees, recognizing that they're not just beautiful, they're living records of how life adapts to extreme environments. The story of Mount Fuji's cherry blossoms is ultimately a story about time. Geological time, measured in volcanic eruptions and glacial cycles. Biological time, measured in generations of trees perfecting their survival strategies. And human time, measured in the brief, glorious weeks each spring when this hidden world reveals itself to those who know where to look. The next time you see a picture of cherry blossoms against Mount Fuji, remember what you're really seeing. Not just a pretty scene, but a conversation between earth and life, a perfect moment where mountain and tree have learned to speak the same language. What other natural wonders have hidden survival secrets you'd like to explore? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Explorer for more journeys into nature's deepest mysteries.